This is your Nonprofit Spotlight Show with Janice Murray.
KHTS. Good morning, Santa Clarita. We are here on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show on your hometown station, FM 98.1 and AM 1220. I am Janice Murray, and we're here today to highlight the Placerita Nature Center. I'd love to introduce my guest. I've got Ron Kraus, Jack Levenberg, and Fred Seeley. Good morning, guys.
Morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's a brand new year, and we've got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. And you guys are already getting ready for your second. It's your first big event of the year because your Christmas holiday thing, that was last year. Seems like a couple weeks ago, but your first big event of the year is your docent training. So we're going to talk about that as we move through the show. But first of all, we want to get our listeners a little background on the Placerita Nature Center. For those that don't know it, it's the most beautiful patch of land in Sand Canyon, as I pass it every day going in and out of the canyon. So Ron, tell us a little bit about it, how things are going over there.
Well, we're doing very well. We just had a kind of a record-setting year in terms of attendance on our programs, revenue. A lot of things are going right, for us.
Well, we like to hear we like stats and stories. So if you've got numbers, how many people are touch and feeling all the new exhibits and stuff you've got going on?
Well, we can talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
I'd like to just kind of go over my some of the things for people who aren't familiar with Placerita Canyon Nature Center. We are operated by the County of Los Angeles, Department of Parks and Recreation. And we, myself, Fred, and Jack, are the PCNCA, which is the Placerita Canyon Nature Center Associates.
Woohoo! Gave yourself an acronym, didn't you?
We did.
I love that.
We're basically the volunteer group that operates the programs, and we help the county in the operation of the park itself. So our primary thing that we do is our school tours, school field trips, which happen during the school year, and we're right in the middle of the school year now. And so we're gearing up for kids are on vacation right now.
I was going to say, I feel like I'm still on vacation. There's no school.
But we're pretty much filled up for the rest of the year.
They have to book early.
They have to book early. They really do.
I do remember that. I know Pinecrest, when my kids were going there, that was the big event to go to the Nature Center.
Yeah, you have to get booked early because all of our slots fill up. We only do programs, so the school field trips, we do those Tuesday through Friday. And so, it's only 4 days a week. We could probably do more if we, had the help and the county was open on Monday, because the center is closed on Mondays. The building's closed. The park is open. You can hike the trails, but the building is closed on Mondays. And just a little bit about Placerita Canyon. Our claim to fame is we are the site of the first gold discovery in California.
I was trying to tell somebody that. They didn't believe me.
Well, the state of California has certified it, so...
There's a placard.
There's a plaque there.
Yes, I've seen it.
Exactly.
I've touched it and felt it. Somebody, I don't remember who I was talking to, but they didn't believe me. They thought it was up north somewhere. And I was like, no.
Sutter's Mill is what they teach in schools, but we are the real first gold discovery site in California.
Gotta love that.
And it's marked by the Oak of the Golden Dream, and that's where that plaque is that you touched.
Yes, it is.
The Oak of the Golden Dream. Gold was discovered in 1842. We have some other historical exhibits, too. We have the Walker Cabin. The Walker family were the original owners of the Placerita Canyon Nature Center property, and their cabin that was built in 1920 is still there. It's been preserved, and the docent organization, we help furnish it and to keep it in good repair.
Is that what we see today? Is that the full footprint of what they lived in?
No, it was a little bit bigger back in the day.
It's kind of small.
But not much.
Not much?
Yeah, it was, 14 people lived in that cabin at one time.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, that's a couple of our historical exhibits. But, we're primarily known for our nature. We have three primary, what we call plant communities, the Oak Woodland, the Chaparral, and the Riparian community. And so we try to introduce that to our school tours and to the general public.
Sure.
So, as I said, we're open, the building's open every day between 9 and 5 p.m., Tuesday through Sunday. And then we have our phone number, which I could give out right now.
Please
for
do.
information, 661-259-7721. And then we encourage people to go to our website for current information. That's placerita.org. It's very simple. And we have an email capability on that website, and Fred answers the email to info@placerita.org. So those are good channels to get information about our facility.
Absolutely, and see some beautiful pictures. Who's the photographer in the group?
I think all of us.
All of you guys.
Yeah, we all take pictures, but Ron's the expert.
That's right. He's the expert.
Thank you, Jack.
Who posts the most?
Well, probably me. Guilty.
Right now, because it's rainy, are we encouraging people that if they're not coming for the docent training, are we encouraging people to do, how are the trails right now?
Well, all of the trails are open, and I'm glad you asked that, because that's a question that we get asked quite a bit.
I bet you do.
All of our trails are open except the two that are some of the most popular is the Canyon Trail, which is the trail that's about 2 miles long. It goes from the Nature Center up to what we call the Walker Ranch area. And then the Los Pinetos Trail, which goes over into the San Fernando Valley. Those two trails are still closed because of the big fire, the sand fire in 2016, and the subsequent floods. You know, remember those,
Yes.
the big El Nino year, whatever it was.
Yes.
And then, but the county is working on it diligently, and we expect they may be open later on this spring, both of those trails. So,
Okay.
in fact, I think the county board of supervisors is expected to hear the funding package today or tomorrow. So we'll hopefully get the good news there and get it finished up and reopened, because that's two of our most popular trails.
Absolutely. The 2 mile one, the Canyon one, that's the one I think most of my girlfriends and I, we've been on that one. That's the easiest to me, if you're a novice, but beautiful. And my question, because I've been saying it's been on my bucket list, and I really, really, when I was younger, wanted to do it, the trail that goes up to the waterfall. Is that...
That is going to take some more
take some
work.
more work.
That one really got devastated because it's in a really steep canyon, and when that flood hit last year, it obliterated the trail. So that's going to take a little more work. But
there's still lovely, easy, walkable areas. The picnic area is still available for families to come out on Sundays or whenever and utilize. What other kinds of programs or things can we take part in when we go to the Nature Center?
Well, I'd like to turn this over to Fred to talk about our new, and Jack, to talk about our new amphitheater. We constructed, with the assistance of the county, a new amphitheater last year. And here, Jack's got some information on it. So if you guys want to talk about that?
Yes. Go ahead.
Sure. We pretty much have finished. We're still getting the electrical done, but we have a brand new 300-seat approximately, depending how wide your derriere is, because of benches. But we think it's about 300 people, and we're excited to have the community use it and find reasons to come and visit.
Now, this is an outdoor amphitheater.
This is an outdoor amphitheater that we had to replace our old amphitheater because it was not handicap accessible.
I remember it.
And along right next to in the same parking area as the amphitheater, we are also finishing up a Braille trail down to the Oak of the Golden Dreams, which all the exhibits will be in Braille and in English. So our site challenge people can come and visit. There's a lot of hands-on, touchy-feely things so that they can get a real feel for the Nature Center is. And it's also ADA compliant.
Wonderful.
So we think when it's completely done, it will be the only one in Southern California.
Well, the Nature Center is one of the first LEEDs green built with your remodel. Wasn't that a big deal for us here in Santa Clarita?
I think they give it a silver classification. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
And now fully immersible, fully interactive for the kids when they go in.
Right.
Love it.
Just right after that, we rebuilt the museum. So we have 3 major exhibits on each of our ecosystems, plus a lot of hands-on things like trying to find gold and compare real gold to pyrite, and things that are pretty educational for the kids,
Nice.
including some Tataviam Indians were the Native Americans that came to the Placerita Canyon on a seasonal basis, but we have a lot of information on them. So we have a lot of beautiful taxidermy, so you can see local animals up close and personal.
Might be worth a trip back. It's been
It is. We think
20 years. No, less than that. Maybe 15, 18 years since I've been there with my kids.
You wouldn't
might be time to
recognize it.
come
You
back.
wouldn't recognize it.
I keep
No.
saying I'm going to do it.
I know you do.
I know. I just have to make the time. It's easy enough.
It's only a mile and a half off the 14 freeway.
I was just
so
going to say, it's only a mile and a half from my house.
Yeah, it is. It's
and
very
you guys,
close.
you are located at 19152 Placerita Canyon Road. Your city, that always freaks me out. It says Newhall.
Well,
We'll give it to
actually,
you.
it's a Newhall post office,
We'll
but
give it
it's
to you.
unincorporated LA
But
County.
lots. Now I said I haven't been to the center, but I've been up there because I've been up there for the bike racing. You know,
the MGen bike.
There's
Yep.
lots of stuff going on there on
Oh,
a
yeah.
regular daily basis. But in terms of the nature center itself, now I got to go back because I just glanced at this, and this is kind of neat for some people. And the question comes up here in Santa Clarita: where can I have? Somebody had just posted on Facebook, where can I find a venue to have a wedding? You know, I can't find a room that fits so many people. Blah blah blah. I see here that you guys will, once your amphitheater is finished, this could be a nice venue for an outdoor wedding.
Well, we actually have a lot of weddings at the Nature Center. Then they usually contact us through me as the corresponding secretary. But the county has a very organized way to approach weddings outdoors under the oak trees. It's a beautiful setting. We have used the amphitheater, but you don't have to. You can just go get married in the trees, or you can have a band and a generator and really do it up. Mm-hmm. So it's really a very cost-effective way for people to have a nice outdoor wedding.
Absolutely. So we'll have to put that on our tickler.
Please do.
Yeah, and when somebody asks that question again, we'll certainly recommend it. So we're talking here about the Placerita Canyon Nature Center, right in our own backyard. Lots of things going on. What else are we going to talk about?
Well, you want to, just since we've been
Programs?
talking about programs, let's maybe go to
Absolutely.
the programs.
Absolutely.
We have some ongoing programs here that happen every Saturday and Sunday. Excuse me, every Saturday. We have our Family Nature Walk at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our Native Live Animal presentation at 1 p.m. Happens every Saturday. There's no charge for these programs, and they're fun for the whole family. So we encourage everybody to come by for those.
We like that.
And then we have some programs scattered throughout the month on certain days. For instance, and all of this information's on our website. But on the second...
Placerita.org.
Placerita.org. On the second Saturday of every month, there's a docent-led bird walk starting at 8 a.m. And this is for beginning to advanced birders. And we ask you to bring binoculars and maybe a field guide in water, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as they say, the early bird gets the worm. We start our bird hikes early because birds are out early. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the third Saturday of the month, we have a popular program led by our popular ranger Frank Hoffman.
Ah,
You probably
haven't seen him
remember.
around in a while.
Yeah, he's great. Anyway, we call it a twilight hike, and we just posted the schedule for 2019 through July on our website, and the times vary because the
of
days.
twilight.
Right, exactly.
That was so logical. I knew that immediately.
So January and February, the hikes start at
Earlier.
6.
Mm-hmm.
March and April, they start at 7. May, June, and July, they start at 8.
All right.
And we have that information on our website as well.
And that hike is which of your trails?
It's the trails around the nature center. We don't go out on the canyon trail or stuff like that.
Okay,
it's just
so this
mostly
is
around the nature center.
Very entry level, beginner, novice.
Yes.
Anybody can attend. Children, older people.
Its focus is not really the hike part, it's the critters that live at night, the bats, and listen to the frogs croak.
Okay, that's
and-
one I won't be doing. Thank you. All you had to do is say
But
bats.
it's a fun program. We have, a lot
I'm
of exciting
sure.
things that come out at night.
I'm sure.
And here's a vocabulary word for you: crepuscular.
Wow. I never heard of it. What does it mean?
Most people have never heard that word. In the context of the nature center, it means animals that come out during sunrise and sunset. So
Say it again.
crepuscular. It almost sounds like a disease.
It does. Interesting.
But it's not. And the twilight is a really good time to see things like Fred was talking about, like bats. They come out at twilight. You've seen those videos, I'm sure, of, and you maybe have been there, the Carlsbad Caverns, the bats come out at sunset. So
I've had a few at my house.
Good. Have you?
Yes, I have. I had to call animal control.
It's a very good time to see those kind of animals, okay? And then on the third Sunday of the month, we have our Community Nature Education Series, and that's held at 2 p.m. with a different topic each month, and Fred is actually in charge of that program.
Give
you
us
want
an
to talk
idea.
About
What are some of the topics, Fred?
Yeah, we try and focus on Placerita Canyon or our local environment. We have had things like raptors and just on rattlesnakes and on insects and on poisonous insects and survival in nature, which plants are edible or not. We try and have a wide range. This month, we're very excited on the 20th, the third Sunday at 2 o'clock. We have a group called the Dryad, the Spirit of the Oak, and it's these entertainers are naturalists, and they play on handmade flutes made out of the branches and limbs of trees, and have a story about the spirit of the oak. Dryad is throughout history has been one of those forest legends, and that every big tree does have a spirit, and we're very much looking forward to it. It's going to be, very different than somebody up there showing snakes. So we try and.
Is this something I can share?
Yes.
I will.
And,
okay, I'll put that on our social media.
That'd be great.
So, and we have coming up urban bears, about bears out in Monrovia that are now third or fourth generation urban bears. And so every month except December, because December's tough, but every month we have a program, and in the summer we try and have cool things like people who have been to various cool spots to kind of cool us off. But it's been a good program. We started 4 years ago, and it's going fine. We have very good volunteers to work on it.
Wonderful. It sounds like you guys do. And if they're anything like you guys, because you guys have been around for a very long time, there's something to be said about that.
Oh, yeah.
You just love what they do, if they're willing to stick around that long. And for those of us who like the pretty things.
Yes, every fourth Sunday of the month, we have what we call the Blooms of the Season Wildflower Walk from 9:30 to 10:30. And we have one of our really dedicated docents, Ruth Ann Murphy, that leads that, and it's a very, very popular program. And there's something usually blooming it doesn't matter, December, January, we'll find something blooming. So very popular program. And we really thank Ruth Ann for doing that for us.
Wonderful.
And then the second Saturday of the month, here's a new program that we have. It's called Nature Tots, and it's for children 3 to 5 years old. And it's from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. in the morning. And we do require some pre-registration because it's turned out to be a very popular program. And I'm going to, Jack, do you want to talk about Nature Tots?
Every mom with a toddler that's driving them crazy in the house that wants to get out.
If you want to register your child, you've got to do it at 12 a.m. on the 1st.
Wow.
Because it fills up.
And how do they do that?
They go on the website.
Oh, they go on the website.
And there has to be one adult per child, and we only accept 20 children.
Smart, because you know how that could be if you got more than that running around. It'll be mayhem.
Yeah. It has been an absolute joy to do this program.
Oh.
To see the kids, they really enjoy the program. Pardon me, that we put on. We've done bats. We've done. We're going to do bears this coming Saturday.
Saturdays at 9:30, and they need to register at nature_tots at placerita.org.
Right.
And I'm sure there's a link if they don't remember that. There's a link on your website. But this is so cute. So January it's bears. February seeds and flowers. March it's acorn woodpeckers, and April, yuck, crickets. Not one of my favorites, but great for the little ones. And again, this Placerita Nature Tots is from ages 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Must have a parent.
Must have a parent.
Tied to every child.
Tied to every child.
Got it. Sounds like fun.
The kids really get into it.
I bet they do.
It's an hour long, and to watch them, you can just see them start absorbing the material. We usually have a story read. We do a video about whatever subject it is we're talking about. And we did turkeys for
Cute.
Thanksgiving, and we had 2 turkeys that were there, and the kids were absolutely fascinated.
I bet.
And these were live turkeys, giant live turkeys. They weren't, butterball turkeys.
Okay, Ron. If they were, I was going to say you didn't call me for dinner.
Yeah.
I would have been there.
So,
Well, it sounds like a lot of exciting stuff going on at the Nature Center.
very much.
Very much so.
And again, Placerita Nature, it's a free program. We want to emphasize that. All of our
All of these
programs are free. There are charges for some things like at our craft fair, but
Of course.
all of these kinds of programs are free, so open to the public.
Best kept
But
secret
we do
in Santa
accept
Clarita.
donations
I would imagine
because
so.
we are totally dependent on donations.
And it's all volunteer driven.
It's volunteer driven, and we're responsible to feed all the livestock stock, and I'll provide veterinary service and everything. And so we don't mind donations.
Wonderful.
Pay for our obligation.
We'll mention that again at the end of the show or throughout the show. But right now, we are here on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show, which is brought to you by KHTS Radio. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and talk more with the Placerita Canyon Nature Center.
Your Nonprofit Spotlight Show with Janice Murray.
KHTS.
We're back on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show. I'm Janice Murray, and we're here thanks to KHTS Radio. We are here on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show highlighting the Placerita Canyon Nature Center. And I've got Ron Kraus, Jack Levenberg, and Fred Seeley. And the first segment, we talked about the programs and all the fun, exciting things that are going on a regular basis at the Nature Center. But this part of the year, January, first couple of weeks of January, is a big time at the Nature Center in terms of loading up for future. Your docent training, and if you guys don't do this right, it must make for a very interesting year. Because obviously you're a volunteer-driven organization. You have docents that have been in the program for years, but I'm sure some of them, because of retirement or just change in life situations, may be moving in and out. And so you always need to replenish your base of docents. And there is a formal training program that they have to go through.
That's correct. And you're right. We do need new docents every year because we do have attrition.
That's what I was trying to say. You're the word master today, aren't you?
And we have people that, we have people from all ages. We have young people, college students come through because the minimum age for docent is 18.
All right.
So we want to emphasize that because I know a lot of times teenagers are interested and we have to say, no, you can still volunteer as a teenager. We have a volunteer coordinator, but not to be a docent. For legal reasons, you have to be 18. And we do get college kids that come on and, they spend some time with us, but then they move on. And then we have young people that are in between jobs and they come and go. And, so we do have to replace our docent, or not replace, but reinforce the ranks of our docents every year.
What is the commitment in time?
Well, the commitment in time as far as docent training is it's 3 months. It's a extensive program.
This is serious.
It's a very serious program. And we go from, it's 9 a.m. to noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting tomorrow, January 8th, through the end of March. And we cover, all kinds of topics. But we found that to make it a serious program, we get a better, more committed docents, because this is almost the equivalent in some cases of a college level class.
I was going to say, this is a resume builder. This is a certificate to put on your resume and can be transferred to other parks and recreation facilities?
Well, not legally, but informally, yes.
Okay.
Because when you
it's experience. Once you've gone through the program and worked as a docent, that's valuable experience.
Once you complete the program, we do give the docents a certificate, and we have I've written letters of recommendation to different employers for docents that have graduated.
Wonderful.
We've had young people move on, and not so young people move on to full-time jobs and part-time jobs in state and county government, parks and recreation, and other things too. So it does carry some panache to it, but legally, it's you don't get credit with the state of California for your.
It's
college
not a
degree.
letter grade, right? There's no test, and there's no.
Well, there
letter
is a
grade.
test.
Yes, a test.
So anyway, just the basics are you have to be 18. Okay. And there is no upper age. In fact, one of our docents, or she's one of our volunteers, member of our organization, Shirley, I think Shirley is 97. 97.
Wonderful.
She comes every year. She was actually with us back in the 60s. She comes and talks to our new class every year, so we cover a wide variety of ages.
Nice.
Okay? 18 to 97. And again, starts tomorrow, Tuesday, January 8th, 9 a.m. to noon, and there's no pre-registration required. You just come, show up, 9 a.m. tomorrow, and it's an orientation session. There's no obligation to stay. We cover the program. We let people know what's required, and if they want to stay, they can, and most do.
Of course.
And if they don't, then they're free to leave, no obligation. There is a free lunch tomorrow if you show up for the orientation session. We have a wonderful lunch provided by one of our docents, Heidi, and so there is such thing as a free lunch.
Only at Placerita Nature Center.
So it's a 9-week program, and there is a cost involved, okay? The cost of the training is $45, and it includes everything that you need for the training, the instruction manual, training materials, field guide, a T-shirt, which I'm wearing, and I think Jack's got one as well, and related items. And let's see, we talked about the minimum age is 18. There is more information on our website, placerita.org. And then we do have other opportunities, volunteer opportunities that don't require the 9-week training program. But to answer your question, you touched on, there is a test. We have a final exam. Now, no one has ever failed the exam, but there is a final exam. That must mean good
teachers. You must have good teachers.
Exactly. So, and there is a term paper required. So we yes, and Fred's in charge of that. We've changed the format for that this past year, and it's worked out very well. So, do you want to talk about that a little bit, Fred? Or?
Well, a little bit. We do need docents. We need docents for interpretive. Volunteers can do anything at the park except interpretive type services. We have a museum docent program. We have school docent programs, and we have other groups that want to come see us, senior centers and people like that. And so we can provide a good educated group of docents to make their visit a really nice visit. And one of the things that we need besides docents is we need fresh ideas. So part of the term paper is to say, hey, now you've been here for 9 weeks. What do you see we could do better?
Oh, nice.
Where would you like to volunteer? Do you see any new programs? For example, one of our volunteers talked about starting a photography program. So like we have the second Saturday, and we have the third Saturday, and we have the fourth Saturday. One day somewhere in there we could have a nature photography program, and photographers from the community could come and shoot and all that sort of thing. There's no charge. Like, we like donations, but there's no charge. So that's one reason we do the term papers. We're interested. It's not like we don't want the 2,500 term papers on acorn woodpeckers. We want each individual to let us know what they're interested in and what suggestions for improvement and how they heard about us, so we can work on our marketing situation. So the term paper is an important part, and it's like 2 pages or less, so it's we hope not a big burden. People can just tell us about themselves.
Wonderful.
So that's our term paper.
And the topics that are covered in the docent training are long and varied.
Yeah.
And you've got an expert in every one of these fields to come in and have those conversations.
Yes, we do. Okay. We have college professors. We have retired geologists and people like that come and talk about what they know about. So we have, when the topic is our native birds, the person that does that is really one of the most experienced birders we can find. Of course, we have one guy who talks about the history of Placerita Canyon. His name's Ron.
Who he is. And he
we don't know whether he's experienced or not.
No, he knows everything about it.
Just one of the old relics that you find at the park.
Jack and I both met each other, and we started docent training in 2010. And, you don't have to plunk your body in that room very long until, with Ron, you're in for a very nice experience. I mean, he's very professional and very well-spoken, and I think it's a great way for our students to start, because they know they're not in some, kindergarten kind of thing.
And if you're going to be a docent of a professional nonprofit, organization, museum, interactive facility like this, they need to know everything that there is to know about the facility, because I guarantee you some kid or somebody is going to ask a question, and a normal volunteer may not be able to answer it. So to have them well-versed on all of these topics just makes sense.
Plus, we have a lot of training, just to finish that off, Jack. Some of the classes are in, like, leading hikes. Trail techniques, what to do with unruly students or unruly parents.
Crazy kids.
How best to keep them
kids
entertained.
Climbing all through the woods.
Yeah, what was the saying? A teachable moment. You walk, and we take them out on the trails. They come with experienced docents, with kids and with parents, and so we really work hard to make people feel comfortable, in our programs. We also have other programs, but go ahead, Jack.
I was just thinking and reflecting back to when we started. I don't know what I really expected when I came to the class, but I was totally blown away by how thorough and professional it was.
You just thought you were going to go hang out at the nature
That's what I
center
thought.
and talk to
My
folks,
wife
didn't
told
you?
me, get out of the house.
Get out the house and go do something. And
That's what she said.
I love that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
What we found was this incredible amount of information presented very well, and a virtual family, which I never expected.
That's wonderful. That's a good advertisement for the future docents. That I hope that they hear that and get encouraged to come and join this family. Come and join the group. It's an amazing ecosystem and natural facility that we have here in the Placerita Nature Center, but there's so much information and so much to experience there that we need qualified docents to be able to guide people through that and help anyone who's going to the Nature Center to enrich their experience.
Right,
and I think that, in my mind, is what a docent should do. Help you as you are exploring the facility to enrich your experience, to learn as much as you can. I mean, it's home for us. So, and a lot of us have, some people have never been there, don't have a clue what's there.
I met some people yesterday at the Nature Center that live up on Bouquet Canyon for 20 years and didn't even know we existed.
Wow. Well, I think your big competition to me in that regard is Vasquez Rocks. Everybody sees it as they're passing the freeway, and there's not a lot of people who don't know what that is or go there.
Right.
You're a little hidden gem, and you have history. There's so much stuff going on there. So I'm glad that we have you guys come on in the beginning of the year. I'm glad that at this time, we're looking to get more docents to come in. Go through this. 9 weeks is not a long time.
It goes by very fast.
I'm sure it does.
Twice a week.
It's only, twice
Tuesday
a week.
and Thursday.
And I just want to hit on a couple of the topics that they're going to be covering. Some names, some words I can't spell or pronounce, right? Arthropods. What is it?
Arthropods, yeah.
See, I don't have my glasses on. What is that?
Arthropods are insects, spiders, scorpions,
I would pick the one that I don't like, right?
I was wondering why you picked that one.
Because it's,
Millipedes, centipedes, arthropods, yes.
Okay.
And we have a wonderful instructor, Chris Call. She's out of Eaton Canyon Nature Center, and she just teaches a wonderful class. We're really happy to have her. But that's what arthropods are.
Okay. What's herpetology?
Herpetology is your other favorite. Snakes and reptiles.
God.
Toads.
I could never be a docent if I'd miss those two classes.
It's amazing that you would pick those two subjects.
I know. See, what's amazing is that you guys give them a big fancy name to hide the fact that it's all those things that I hate.
Well, snakes and lizards are a big part of Placerita. We have 11 different species of snakes.
11. See, I
just
love coming to work
ground
and learning
snakes.
something new every day. I've learned a new word. I've learned a new stat. 11.
Yeah.
Okay, I've only had like 3 different kind at my house, but don't advertise that. I'm not inviting any. You've got obviously ecology. You've got the Walker Ranch history. That's obviously a good one. Animal interpretation.
Yeah, that's a good one. We do have a collection, and we haven't talked about it too much. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it. We do have a collection of live animals that we show to the public.
Sure.
Now, these are rescue animals. They can't live in nature. We don't go out and capture animals and bring them in and
of course not.
to show them. But these are animals that either have some physical problem, like we have a hawk that its wing was shot off by a hunter, can't live in the wild. So we use that as a teaching guide for our
as close
our
as we're going to
groups.
get to seeing one up close and personal.
Thank you.
For
Because a
most
lot of
kids.
these animals are either nocturnal or crepuscular. And you don't see them
that word.
at the park. There'll be a test afterwards.
Okay.
So animal interpretation, that's where we teach the docents how to handle these animals. Now, for people who don't like, for instance, snakes, you don't have to handle the animals. We don't
good to know.
require people to handle the animals.
But
we
it may
do
come up as a part of your job, so you should understand that.
But you don't have to handle them. But what we do want you to do is learn about the animals. Because some people that don't like to handle the snakes, they'll be in the room with a docent that's handling the snake and maybe doing the lecture, but not necessarily handling the snake.
Okay.
But we have also had people join because they are afraid of snakes and they want to find out about them.
That is not going to motivate me, okay?
So at the end of
Fred,
training,
no.
they become snake handlers.
No, that won't work for me. I appreciate you throwing that out there, but no.
I mean, the first time you come to the nature center and we see you, you know.
The tarantula and a snake.
Yeah.
I'm out. Okay, that's all I need to know. If they're there that day, I'm out.
And we do have some tarantulas. That
I
we
know
handle.
you do. I know you do. But you know what? There's some little boy out there in the world who's going to come on a school tour and have just flip. That's going to make his world to get to see one because his mom won't let him have one. I get that. That would be me. And that's why you guys are such a wonderful resource for us here in Santa Clarita. Because our kids can see nature up close and personal. Some of these things I bet they could even touch and feel. Mm-hmm. And where else would they get that opportunity?
Mm-hmm. We don't generally let them touch the live animals. There's laws about that. But we have things they can touch, like pelts and things of that sort. That we have something called nature boxes, which if we have time, we'll touch on that also, where we do really hands-on stuff.
Wonderful. I remember when you guys were going through the build and remodeling everything to make everything interactive, and that I remember the old taxidermy and the old little facility there. I need to come over and see what's new.
You do?
I do, because I can imagine it's light years from what it was when I was there. Mm-hmm. Well, you guys are on the map, that's for sure. What else can we talk about?
Well, again, Placerita, we're sort of at the crossroads of nature and history, because we have a lot of history we talk about and a lot of nature we talk about, and that's reflected in our schedule. And as Fred said, all of this comes together in our interpretive classes, where we teach you how to interpret, because you can learn a lot about animals and plants and things like that in history, but how do you convey that information to the public? So that's why we spend a lot of time on interpretive techniques and actually hands-on experience.
Wonderful. We've got about 2 minutes left in this segment, guys. Anything else we want to hit?
Well, I just wanted to mention that we do talk a lot about the school program because it is one of our most popular programs. But we have over 30 other volunteer opportunities.
Wow.
And we have a
In what areas?
volunteer leader assigned to all those kinds of things. Like we have an educational pond, which I happen to take care of. So in the spring you can see live tadpoles, and we have frogs and toads. And there are just lots of things, whether it's organizing meetings or organizing parties. And we have a wonderful Adopt an Animal program that we're for.
What are we adopting right now? What do you have available?
Well, you can adopt anything, but it's
anything in the park.
In the park. And it's a donation kind of program, and you get a nice certificate and you get a photograph. And we have a lot of people renew. They become attached to, for example, Lady Hawk. We have a red-tailed hawk named Lady Hawk who's like 24 years old. And people adopt her every year.
And part of your adoption, is that the cost of that is to go to the care and feeding of those particular animals?
Absolutely. The docents pay for 100% of the animal care expenses.
Oh, wow.
We spent $9,000 on crickets and mice last year.
All you got to do is come to my house. You can have all the free load. Get all those things.
We have to buy all that stuff from certified sources.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Amazing.
So it's a wonderful commitment. But it's a commitment.
Absolutely. And again, the docent training is going on now, tomorrow, Tuesday through
to the end of March.
End of March.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to noon.
And it sounds like an amazing opportunity for anyone who's got the time or the interest, or even who's trying to build a career in parks and recreation. This would be a good stepping stone right here in your own backyard to learn all the wonderful, amazing things that we have available at the Placerita Nature Center. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and wrap up our show on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show on your hometown station, FM 98.1 and AM 1220. Don't go away.
This is your Nonprofit Spotlight Show with Janice Murray.
KHTS.
We're back on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show, which is brought to you by KHTS Radio. I am Janice Murray, and we are here talking with the Placerita Nature Center. We've got Ron Krause, Jack Levenberg, and Fred Seeley in the center there. And we, in the last segment, were talking about the volunteers. We're talking about the docent training, which is getting ready to kick off Tuesday, January 8th through March. 9-week program, wonderful program, very, very serious program that educates volunteers who want to go through the certification to become docents at the Nature Center. And we moved into our conversation about other volunteer programs or other volunteer opportunities. And Fred, you were saying there's a whole bunch of other volunteer opportunities available there.
Oh, yeah, we have lots of opportunities. Like I said, we have over 30 specific programs that we have people in charge of. We mentioned a lot of them, like the bird walk and the nature flower walk and all those sorts of things. But we do have, I want to mention one thing before we forget, is that if you don't hear about this until after January the 8th, we do accept new students up to January 17th.
Oh, wonderful.
So if you don't make
one.
it on the 8th, then come on that next Tuesday or Thursday and
Come
sign
ready
up
to
and
stay and
see
learn.
what you want to think and talk to Ron about what the program's like. We do have DVDs of all the topics that we've collected over the years. So if you happen to miss one, we have you can borrow
Catch
it
up.
and take it home and watch it. And
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's an
feel like
important
you're
point.
blind.
Yeah, that is important.
You can miss a class or a few classes, and you can make them up. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Of course, if you miss a class, you don't get a hat.
You don't get free lunch.
Free,
No, you get a free lunch,
Still
but
get
you
a
don't
free
get the
lunch.
hat.
You don't get the
perfect
hat.
attendance.
The
is
perfect attendance
attendance.
hat. Only a
Oh.
few people have it. It's
Oh.
a green hat, and you have to have perfect attendance.
Can you wear it as you're a docent? So that's
Yes.
a talking point, right?
People wear them, and they've worn them out. I've had to replace them.
Wow.
Because people are very proud of those green hats.
Talk to me a little bit, because I know when my kids were little, there was a big hawk or some kind of bird that when the kids were there for the school tours, the docent would bring out with the, strapped to his arm. There's got to be, if he's not alive any longer, because that was some 20 years ago, there's got to be some exciting new animals there, right?
You're right.
Right.
The animal you're talking about actually was OJ, our owl.
OJ, yeah. Oh, okay.
Owl
Owl. I know it was
Jr.
some
and-
big bird.
And OJ lived to 34 years old,
Really?
which is pretty amazing. We have a new, OJ was a great horned owl, and we're lucky to have Jack here. Jack is the bird whisperer, especially for the owls and the hawks. But we do this year got two new animals. We got a prairie hawk, and we got a peregrine falcon. Wow,
that's
so
cool.
And we also got a new, less injured red-tailed hawk. So our rats and mice bill has gone up, but we're thrilled to have them. They're either available for the weekend programs at 1 o'clock or the school programs, or they're getting ready. We have volunteers that come and work with them every day for hours a day to get them used to crowds and to make sure they get plenty of sunlight. And
I
all
hadn't
that
thought
sort of
about
thing.
that's the other side of being a docent. You got to work with the animals.
Yeah, we do. We ask long term. Our bylaws say that a member should do 2 things a month. So that doesn't mean 8 hours a day, but it means an event or a docent training, or we have a trail team that people that go on and help keep the trails safe, clean out the water problems, the water bars that divert water off the trail. We have a weeding program called the Exotic Plant Removal Committee.
That's
and
a
we meet
good
every month.
That's a
and-
good opportunity for some retired husband. Go, honey,
Oh,
go
yeah.
go to the nature center and do some
Police.
weeding.
And we have some plants that are invasive, especially after our flood back in 2017. That the state Fish and Game people actually ask us to get rid of. And so we treat tobacco and tamarisk. So we're organized about that. We get hardworking people that come up.
Wonderful.
It's amazing.
Well, somebody's got to keep the Nature Center beautiful. Every time I've ever been there, it's just amazing to me how you can tell that someone is taking care of it. It is nature, but it's planned, organized nature. It's beautiful.
It is. And one of the things I wanted to, before I forget, is, and I don't want to forget it because it's very important to us, as Fred said, we are dependent on donations, and one of our big donation or revenue stream from is our gift shop. We have a gift shop that's open mostly on the weekends. It has to be staffed by volunteers, but we encourage everybody to, partake in our gift shop.
I've got to back up too. Another way to help with your cost is because of the care and feeding of the animals, your Adopt an Animal program. I just want a little more information about that. How would somebody go about it, and how much is it?
Adopt an Animal is really, I don't remember what the minimum is, but there's a schedule, and I assume it's on the website.
Okay, good answer.
Placerita.org.
Placerita.org.
Or just call the Nature Center, 661-259-7721, and mention the words Adopt an Animal, and we will put you in touch. Also on the website.
That's a volunteer opportunity as well. Somebody's got to man the phones, right? Somebody's got to answer all those questions.
That's what Shirley does.
That was Shirley.
97-year-old Shirley comes in
Shirley.
on a day a week and mans the phones. But on the website, we also have, and under Contact Us, there's info@placerita.org. So if you have a question, and we get questions every day about the trails being open, but if you send that, attack through that, just say what the subject is Adopt an Animal, then I will, since I'm the corresponding secretary, I answer those.
Oh, perfect.
And I will forward that to the people that run Adopt an Animal, and they will be happy to talk to you about it.
And I just need to know, because there might be something cute and cuddly that I would like to adopt. What type of animals are available to adopt?
You can adopt a great horned owl.
Okay.
Her name is Sierra.
Sierra.
It's my girlfriend.
Oh, how old is she?
She is, we think, 8 at this time. They
In the
live in
scheme
the
of things
wild
that-
3 to 5 years
Oh.
max.
Okay.
And she's, since she got hurt, she's at the Nature Center. Hopefully she'll live 30 some odd years.
Wow.
We also have barn owls, which Jack also works with. We have all the snakes. We have lizards.
I think Janice ought to adopt
We have a
Sprinkles.
raven named Buddy that's cute.
A raven.
Fun, very smart bird. We also have a turkey vulture that was hit by a car when
Oh, wow.
it was eating
Oh, wow.
roadkill and almost became roadkill.
You guys are such boys. You guys are such boys. You like that stuff, don't you? To come here and tell me about roadkill. That doesn't motivate me to want to adopt that one.
Oh, it's a very, very nice bird. You'd love it.
I'm sure. The whole point of the story, and I appreciate you guys coming and sharing your excitement and your passion for the Nature Center. The point is there's amazing, beautiful nature to be experienced right here in Santa Clarita. And we've got amazing professional, qualified, educated docents and volunteers who'd be more than happy to share their excitement for the center with you. The only thing we want to let everybody know again is the park is not open on Monday.
The building's
not open on
The trails
Mondays.
are open, the park is open, but just the building. You can't go into the Nature Center on Monday.
Got it.
As always, there's an exception. That is if Monday is a holiday, then it's open. So Labor Day, Memorial Day.
Oh.
If Monday is a holiday, the county does open the restrooms.
Well, that's
and
kind of
offices
nice.
and
So,
everything.
so if you can't take your kids to school because it's a holiday, take them to the Nature Center.
That's right.
And we're closed one day a year, the entire park, and that's Christmas Day.
Understood.
That's the only restrictions.
Everybody needs that day off, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, you guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. I know it's going to get even busier with the docent training coming up. Good luck with that. I hope that you have real excited, dedicated people who join and stick with it. And look forward to seeing you guys in the new year. We're here on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show, which is brought to you by KHTS Radio on your hometown station, FM 98.1 and AM 1220.